How you boys doing? Good? I haven't talked to you two in a minute.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
You got two new dads, man, who waited way too late to make that decision.
Was it like a late decision, or was it like trying to
No.
figure things out? Because Marines, we know, get lost trying to
It
get.
was
Yeah, but we
It was
both did the
intentional.
opposite of what Marines do. Usually Marines start with the babies and then get lost and figure shit out.
That's right.
I think we both did the opposite.
That
Yeah.
is true. That is true. Oh,
I know Marines my age that are like have kids in high school.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They know the freaking route to make shit happen. I don't know.
Yeah, it's this route.
That's freaking hilarious. All right. Well, let's get started. Hornback. What do we
Yes.
got from MDT that you want to hit real quick? Is our
Oh.
sponsors? We got it. Let's talk. Let's holla. Let's hear it.
Actually, two things. One, the new mountain and backcountry bipods, super light, pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then a small time guy, PRS Manufacturing, making rubber feet for him already, which is key for me. Anyway, they're stupid light, like laughably light. And then the other thing is the new Send It levels. They're square. 3 LEDs in there. I actually used one all weekend at the Hornady PRC, and I'm not a fan of batteries on rifles, but this one is pretty damn good, and it lasted without an issue. So, yeah, that's what I got, man.
Freaking Jose's cup sounds like a cowbell.
It's
Well,
loud.
we just won't drink any more water.
That
That mountain bipod though, I
That was
ordered
too
it.
much.
They got released at like 4:00 on a Friday or something, and I ordered it no crap at 5 a.m. on Saturday morning, and it was already sold out, and I was back ordered 10 weeks. So apparently that's how popular it was.
well, no, that's just how MDT's website.
No, they swore this release would be good, but I got on 7 hours too late apparently.
Yeah, that's just standard operating procedures. What shit is gone? Never mind.
I don't want to comment plus or minus on this. The website worked though when you got on it, so
That's true.
we're halfway there.
That's true.
Probably shouldn't
I
say
did
that again,
complete
but
my
hey.
order.
I mean, that's a win. I don't think I've ever been able to do that with MDT.
Oh no, I usually buy something and then a couple days later, like, sorry, we oversold that. Here's your money back. Shit. Never mind. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
Well, you can't say they don't have good stuff.
If
No,
it comes 10 weeks from when I order it, it'll still be 12 weeks ahead of my hunt. So I put in plenty of buffer. So.
yeah.
Okay, if you come up against a brick wall, you please just let me know.
We know people.
Yeah,
I know a guy.
I got you taken care of.
That's funny.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So we didn't really talk about it though. Let's, if people are listening, let's talk about the bipod.
So the one that I'm actually, hey, if you wait 3 seconds, I'll go grab it.
He's not that fast. 3 seconds
One,
is.
2.
It's like
All
count.
right, boot him from the podcast.
He
It
gone.
did. It did actually change.
I should have.
You know, everybody complains about the price of the SkyPod. They're actually shockingly affordable. So they have like I want to say it was a 300 and a 450 version, depending on what height and level of like adjustability you wanted.
Yeah,
And
so
it's like one's 5 ounces and one's 5.8 ounces or something.
Yeah, this is the more expensive, heavier one. So if I had to recommend one for people to buy, it's actually the more expensive one. So it's got the cant, just like the standard SkyPod, so it'll go like 180 degrees. And then it's got the push buttons. It's like a normal SkyPod. The one thing that I actually really love about this is, you know how the SkyPod has 2 buttons for the leg splay? This is just 1 button, and it does the leg splay. Done deal. And then it's twist lock for the extension. So if you wanted to get super high with it, I mean, man, it's good. It's really good. But the factory feet are spikes. I don't much like spikes and carrying spikes. So like I said, PRS manufacturer makes these kind of like glue-on rubber feet that I've been playing with. So Jose's muted.
He's muted.
He's
Jose,
muted.
you're muted.
Doesn't show that he's muted.
Doesn't
No.
show. Are you there?
He just says
Am I
audio
back now?
dysfunction.
There
Oh,
he
you
is. He's
yeah.
got it.
there.
I know
There.
it was. Anyways, so the taller one, which is the heavier one, which is still 5.7 ounces, is 18 inches tall, which is the same height at max height as any of the double pull sky pods.
Yep.
And then the short one, the lighter one is.
He's dying again. He's muted.
What happens to you? What's this going on?
He didn't
love
charge
it.
his AirPods.
Love you. There you go.
They're on 100%.
All right,
Okay.
there you
I
go.
got you
There
now.
you go.
But anyways, so I think the only drawback, which you can't really complain about at the price point, is that you have to pick Arca or you have to pick Picatinny when you order them. But I mean, for the price, like God, everybody runs Arca today, anyways. Like,
Yeah, and like I just grabbed this one. I have it on the carbon stock, which is Arca.
Right.
I mean, I
Yeah.
just everything I have is Arca. I think I have one gas gun rig that just has pick
Everything I have is Arca now as well. But I guess if there's a drawback, it's that it's not. You can't even change the heads for both. But like, if you're that worried about it, go buy like an adapter. Go buy the RRS, pick the Arca or something like that.
I'm with
It's
you.
not that big a deal.
Cool
So,
piece of tech though. It was a kind of an acquisition slash conglomeration with the other company from, I can't remember the company, from New Zealand, and crazy cool guys too. I got to hang out with the SHOT Show. So
who's that company that Alwine is always going after? That has
Tricer.
Tricer. That's
Do we want to go there? 'Cause
No.
it's good.
I mean, give it 20. Give it 20. We can go there, but yeah, we won't talk about it.
I mean, if you're listening and you dig, you'll find. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Trevor's a good friend of ours at Straight Jacket. He's asking if Really Right Stuff is the answer for backcountry lightweight shooting tripods, and Really Right Stuff is there, but I don't see a whole lot of stuff from them anymore. I'm shooting the 2-vets. I don't know what everybody else is shooting, but.
So Really Right Stuff is kind of the standard, man. It's the gold standard. But with all this stuff, I've seen a lot of evolution of it. The one I've been using is basically the American version of Leophoto. I have the Dauntless and the Trendy. The Dauntless I use for NRL Hunter. It's a single joint inverted with a column lock on it, like I showed you before.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got the Trinity, what's a double, and it's heavier with the brass feet. So I think there's some other options out there that are less than Really Right Stuff that you're going to get a lot of miles out of. So that's my opinion.
It is a consumer's market, as in most things for shooting. I don't own an RRS. I've sadly never owned an RRS for how snobby my stuff usually is. I would still tell you if I was to pick one and was forced to pick the best, it'd probably be RRS. But that said, I mean, like I run Leo photos just because I have multiple of them and for the features. But like, I will say the Dauntless, I guess, whatever that, or the Infinity tripod, whatever that silver tripod is that has come out with it, like just the pull down lock that keeps the legs splayed open where it doesn't accidentally fold on you. That's pretty slick for gaming stuff.
Yeah.
But again, he's asking for hunting. For hunting, I'd still have to say, just if you want the best, the gold standard, whatever, be RRS. But man, there's a lot of options that are just so purpose driven, I guess now, right? And it's slick. Actually, for hunting, I'm using Leo Photo made a compact inverted 2-leg section 28 millimeter. So it's only like 49 inches fully extended, which you can actually shoot low standing from, right? And you can spot from, but then also like it doesn't look like a radio antenna sticking on your back, and it's like 2.5 whopping pounds or something. It's like not very much. So that's actually what I'll be hunting with this year, but it's by no means anything fancy. But like, well, I guess what I'm saying is there's lots of options for every budget out there. So.
Yep.
Yeah,
and I have that same one. It's good.
Yeah, this isn't tripods from 15 years ago where there was like 3 big companies that made a tripod that you could actually support the weight of a rifle on, and you're just like praying this camera tripod held your gun up. Like, there is literally dozens of options now that are all rock solid and have decent features.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there. So I'm gonna hit real quick. Where's my camera? Right there.
Wrong camera.
Yeah, the Fix It Sticks Nanook. So this is the new hard case. A lot of people ask for this. This is freaking phenomenal. So it has for you guys that are watching live, it has all the kits. You can always add more, but this is awesome because you can put in your vehicle. You can do anything with it, and it's the hard kit from with Nanook. So check these out. The Fix-It sticks are.
That's
We
pretty
all know
slick.
about Fix-It sticks, but this is one of the new ones. The badass one that no one really has yet in the great big Nanook is the full armors kit, but they're like $1,500. But people buy them. So
Call it the armorer's kit for a reason. Comes with everything.
It's got everything. Everything. What do you got, Slinsky? I haven't heard from you for a minute on something good you've been tinkering with lately.
Oh no!
Oh no, he's gone.
The
about
East
you?
Coasters are dealing with a lot of bad rain and thunderstorms right now. So.
We need
I know y'all don't know what that wet stuff is out in Utah, but
No.
we call it rain over here. So.
Hold on. We in Vegas today. We got a dust storm warning. That's got to be worth something.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's good shit there. What do you got? What do you got, Jose? Let's hear something good you've been playing with.
I've started shooting more of the precision gas gun stuff, so like the quantified performance series, and playing a little bit more gas gun stuff. And then I've even ventured into less of my comfort zone, which is large frame gas guns. So I bought two Seekenses and rebarreled one of them with a 24-inch proof, and I am like a giddy school child when I get to shoot that thing. I'm ruining brass, but I'm shooting 123s at 2950 at like legitimately sub 3/4 MOA, which just becomes silly. And it's like a 19-inch gas gun, so it doesn't move, even suppressed when you shoot it. So it just makes you real happy when it goes boom. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun lately.
That's up Matt's alley with his new. That shit.
Yeah. So I have the same setup. Once you change the barrel, the gas block, and the bolt of those Seekins, solid.
Yeah. Well, and then I dropped the Dan Horner 3-gun trigger in it, the Timney DH3 or whatever, and that, that's a solid gun. It's been fun.
Matt was shooting like 3/4 minute, 1 minute, and then he put that different system, and it shrunk considerably.
Yeah.
Well, that was with one of our barrels.
So the original barrel in that Seekins, the factory one, was like a 2 to 3 inch barrel, and then the proof shrunk it down, and then the Jack one.
This was the proof pre-fit off a guide fitter, like literally put it on in my shop here. Never like even worked on a large frame before, and took to the range, and it was legitimately within 40 feet per second of my 24-inch Studeville gun on my bolt action 6.5 Creed with the same load. So I was like, that's interesting, but it is ruining brass.
Yeah, they do that. So on the deflector, if you take a piece of the fuzzy side of Velcro and wrap it around there, it'll actually help your brass quite a bit. Not get.
Oh no, that's not the part that's getting hurt. It's the part where you cut your thumb on the rim from how bad that injector.
Oh, you're juicing them. Got
44.5 grains of 4350, baby.
I don't go for over 42.5 with Hornady brass.
We don't talk about low data. Damn it.
I'm telling you, don't do it. I'm coming with a disclaimer saying don't do it. Value your brass.
Yeah.
Hey, brass is disposable. It's fine.
Man.
Yeah.
No, that's fun. The gas gun stuff it's been fun.
So Selinsky logged off just to change his title.
That is only partially true.
Power's out.
I was presented an opportunity via nature to change my title. I took advantage of
it. Man.
All right, Slinsky, what do you got? Jose told us about his gas gun crap. What do you got? What are you working on lately? What's tickling your pants?
So I've been running a lot more of the sniper matches recently. Been shooting with Brandon Zelinsky just to fuck with everybody because they can never tell us apart. Because two balding white guys with beards. But
that's a stretch.
So we've been running a lot of those matches.
One of you looks like a dad, and the other one does not.
I appreciate you thinking I don't look like a dad. I don't know how you would expect me to take this compliment.
Oh, take that one.
Fuck you, Jose.
Oh hell.
But yeah, been doing a lot more of those matches, especially since popping out a little demon. Mainly because I've been cut back on my local stuff, just to devote time at home. But yeah, still working on more of those. Planning to do tactical games here coming up in October. Real World finale in November, and then January we've got Mammoth again back in Fort Pickett. They just announced it. So,
Who are you gonna shoot with, Linsky? Who are you gonna shoot with?
So it's being determined. I don't think he's gonna be able to do Mammoth, so I'm probably gonna try to get my partner from last year, Jay, to shoot with me again. Since for being a scratch team that had never met prior to a week before Mammoth, I think 7th place was pretty solid. So I think we can go for top 5 this year.
Oh, that's one of those. That's one of those hard freaking pusher matches for sure. If you need me, I'll be fishing. You know, that kind of thing.
I was gonna say I won't need you, and you won't be around.
Nope,
ain't showing up.
Don't even. Hey, a bunch of our barrels will be there, but I won't be there.
I do not volunteer as tribute.
No.
Cole's gonna go to the store for milk and cigarettes and never come back.
Oh yeah. I gotta keep this latte. I gotta keep this latte the way it's shaped for what I mean.
Well, especially with the new location. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Central Virginia in fucking January.
Oh, that ought to be chilly. That ought to be chilly.
This year's Mammoth, right? We woke up Saturday morning. It was 19 degrees and there was 6 inches of snow on the ground.
Oh, that sounds like Utah.
It was bullshit.
Oh well.
Hey, but you paid to be there.
I paid a lot of money to be
there. Paid to be there. Oh well, that's the worst.
What's funny is it got to the point that so I borrowed the tent that Jose and I used, his super ultralight backpacker tent. What's the name of that thing, Jose?
The Argali for Absaroka 4P.
The Argalis.
Thing's light as fuck. And as fuck is actually a unit of measure for this thing. 1.2 pounds or 2.2 pounds or something ridiculous for a ginormous 2-man tent. Well, the company sells a 4-pound wood burning stove.
And they only have one sleeping bag. He forgot to mention that.
It's just saran wrap.
Bag. We used a blanket, and there was only one. But it was to the point we seriously debated about buying this $400 4-pound wood burning stove to bring with us to Mammoth.
Yeah, packing that would have been exciting.
I mean, we both run
someone's got to pack the wood
so
or
it
something.
wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah,
4 pounds in the grand scheme of things, split between 2 dudes for that situation.
Oh yeah. And I mean, so I like to take pride in the fact that I'm in halfway decent shape. Jay, who is 10 years my senior, put me to fucking shame. I would have given him all 4 pounds of it. We would hit a flat stretch, and I'll be like, "Hey Jay, I'm gonna jog for a bit," and he's like, "Okay," and then just starts Forrest Gumping down the road with his 74-pound pack, and I'm struggling to keep up. I'm like, "You motherfucker!"
Yeah, that sounds like. Yep, no, I'm not there. Not happening.
I'm looking at a shelf full of former Mammoth gear that I'm just never actually going to use a Mammoth again right now.
I gave it tree fitting.
It's the most prep intensive match. So the problem is it's actually really fun. I will argue it's one of the most efficiently run matches out there. The stages are usually pretty great, but I swear to God, I packed for 2 straight weeks. It is so time consuming to get ready for that match. Not the physical part, the literal packing is just, it's so intensive.
Because you're
NRL Hunter's hey, let me go grab 150 rounds, a game changer, and a tripod, And then Mammoth is let me grab my 2-ounce spoon,
Well, so there's a difference between how Jose packs for Mammoth and how other
smartly and not smartly. Is that what you're trying to say?
So you have my method, which is if I need it, I'm going to bring it. And that's why my ruck is 70 to 72 pounds. And then you have Jose, who has a dedicated Excel spreadsheet that
with 4 years worth of tabs on it. With 4 years worth of tabs on it. Yeah.
Of shit not to do.
Somebody, yeah, exactly. What? Yeah. And I like how he said, "Well, that's not going to happen anymore because I learned my lesson finally." But hey, I bet somebody would pay some money for that Excel spreadsheet.
Oh God, I've given it out for free for anybody that's dumb enough to ask for it. That means they're actually trying.
To give it out for free.
Speaking of nut crushers, Matt Hornback, you went and shot the Hornady PRS match. The one that George Gardner needs to rename, and I've told him that. The fucking humbling experience that is. Yeah.
Do we want to start with my gripes or my praises?
I've shot it and I got humbled. I shot the last year that I shot it with Brian Allen, the A-Team guys, love them. Shot it with Shannon K. Shot it with all those guys. I'm good. I got my thing out of it. I'm good. My dumbass shot a freaking 308, which is the worst thing I could have shot.
So I will say Joe from Hornady shot a 308 and he got top 20. So it's still hammering targets. I came in like 32nd place, dropped 60 points in 2 days, which I haven't done in I can't remember how long. But I want to preface this whole thing by the squad you're on is the stage you start, and if they don't change the match year to year, you know how to game the stages in the start. So I just blindly, me and the homies jumped into squad 8, which was not a good choice, by the way, because we ended on long range stages both days. And if you know anything about Utah and Wyoming, there's wind. There's quite a bit of wind in the afternoon. So it's 2 mils this second and it's 3.2 the next, and that's what we were up against. And there's 100% a gaming aspect to the actual squad starting position, and I hope that he switches to random squad start positions on stages from here on out to make it a little bit more even. Because if you look at where my squad placed and then where other squads placed and who was there, good shooters are always good shooters. Got it. But there's a gaming aspect to that I wasn't a fan on. The rest of the match was great, ran fine. Jimmy John's sandwiches 2 days in a row. I don't really get that one, especially for a match that's expensive and hard to get to. I'm not gonna bitch about food. Whatever, it was food. But yeah, man, there's a few things that I just wouldn't have done myself. But great staff, great ROs, well-run match. I had a good time. Would I go again? I don't think so. 8-hour drive each way from Vegas. But I had a buddy that wanted to go, so we went. So that's about it.
Matt, do you have a pen in your hand?
Oh, it's the bipod still. You can hear it clicking. My bad.
Yes, I can. I'm like,
Sorry.
what in the hell is he doing? I can see somebody listening.
Water is dry. I need something else.
See some dude driving down the freeway, freaking white knuckling, yelling at people like, "There's a clicking noise in the background." Oh my hell!
It'd be like that.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? I got humbled big time when I shot it. There was a lot of what George and the guys set up was you shoot your targets, but you never get a double shot at the same target when I shot it. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way back to 1, 2, 3, 4. So to try and figure out one, depending on where you were at, like there was a couple of them around a lake, which was good, and then there was a couple like up a draw, so you got a little bit of switchy wind. So it was super hard. Spots. Yeah, it was super hard to figure out
the wind changed so quickly that you couldn't keep up with it. That was the problem. You were applying the changes you were seeing, shooting as fast as you could, but you just couldn't catch up to what was going on. So do I feel bad? I made one mental error and then maybe one bad trigger press out of 200 plus shots. No, I don't feel bad. There's nothing I could have done about a lot of it because I just couldn't keep up with the changing conditions, and that's how it is.
Yeah. Somebody's got some freaking background noise like a mofo. Hold on, let me adjust.
I was gonna say, do you was it me?
It's a fan of some sort.
It's probably freaking. Of course it is Jose. He's got his freaking bougie ass fan going.
He's got his AC going.
I'm in my shop in Alabama. I need the AC.
I mean, it could be me. I've got AC going in this trailer.
Oh yeah, Solinsky with his new fancy trailer.
You got a trailer? You went from a.
Been paying attention to Distinguished Tactical Cole. I am. Shocked.
Insulted.
You notice that I don't even post on my own shit anymore. You know, it's just life.
So with the baby, I have run out of space in my 1,000 square foot house and realized that moving with current market trends is physically impossible. I would triple my mortgage for the same size house. So I decided to do an addition that doesn't require any permitting, which is taking a 1980s construction trailer, dropping it in my backyard, ripping out the axle so it doesn't look like a nasty trailer, and then refitting the inside with all my shit.
Nice. That's actually pretty good. That's a smart idea. Yeah,
So it's about 25% of the size of my house. So I've doubled my size.
Where's the ambulance? You still got it?
I still got the ambulance. It is coming out of timeout since diesel prices are now actually somewhat halfway reasonable compared to when they weren't. Because they got put in timeout for a hot minute.
Drive a gas bus and tell me how you freaking cry.
I know.
2 miles.
I took it to Mammoth in Georgia.
Ooh,
it cost me $500 to get it down there and back.
Yeah, that's about right. It's downhill the whole way though. You're good.
Yeah, and uphill the rest of the way back.
Oh my hell.
But yeah, it's come out pretty good. So if you want to see pictures, they're up on Distinguished Tactical. I don't think I can post pictures on this. Well, I'm on my laptop, so they don't have the pictures anyway. But yeah, it's come out pretty good.
We don't want to see what's on your laptop. We're good.
Oh, those aren't on my laptop, Cole.
There's Marines in skinny shorts and shit on there, guaranteed.
He's making
that
a calendar.
is definitely on my laptop.
Right. All right. Well,
and you never did silky pics with the boys. Did you even have boys?
Oh my God.
With the boys, for the boys.
See, so what you guys, I don't know if you guys realize, but you got a captain in here. So this is like not HR approved type thing. So Mr. freaking company commander here, he can't listen to this. He's over there.
September 6th, I'm out.
Oh, you're not going anywhere. You ain't going.
Yeah.
He can't hear you over his white chocolate mocha. So.
Hey, that's no lie, though. That's just delicious.
Especially in Vegas. It's probably got a little Bailey's in it, but it's good to go.
Hey, every lifted truck in Vegas has got curb marks from Starbucks, so don't worry about it.
Half of them are squatted like these boys in the South.
Oh, I've only seen one from here. One, and thank God.
And Cole, don't pretend you Army boys aren't also of that life. So Jay, my partner for Mammoth, is active duty Army.
Mm-hmm.
We skipped across the finish line hand in hand.
Yes,
it's on video somewhere. I don't know what Grunt Style did with it. It didn't make the cut, but we skipped across the finish line hand in hand.
Oh, that is not that's a no-go. That is a no-go situation there.
Active duty E9.
Yeah, I don't think he wants people telling everybody what he is, but no. Anyway,
there's stuff that we could get away with 10 plus years ago that we definitely can't get away with now.
Oh hell no! I remember
so serious.
Somehow I became the NCO over piss test. That was exciting.
I will tell you though that phallic PC art is still a thing.
I would hope so. If that goes away, we might as well just give up to China.
I mean, it's glorious. I can't even get mad. I just laugh.
Oh, that's hilarious. So I brought these two back because they're two of them that started long range tactics with us. 100th episode. I suck. I know everybody tells me because I can't keep shit straight. We've been playing baseball every freaking night for the last month. It's just been absolutely crazy. But I'm hoping to, maybe have you guys back a little bit more often. Usually we've got Sawyer on. And have you guys met Sawyer yet?
I don't think so.
He's good. He's good people. He's more of a, I don't know, is he a noob? Like, he's only been doing it for a few years, but as he grows, he's doing a very good job of letting everybody follow his path.
He's like the Bob Ross of rifles.
Happy little trees over. Yeah.
I'm trying to decide if that's
calming.
a compliment. Yeah.
No, he's good. Like
he sucks me right in. Just
there's a lot of people that follow him, and we built him a couple rifles, and he made us look really good at Straight Jacket, and we can't complain. Matt's keeps taking like 64th or whatever it was, and
Yeah.
makes us look bad. No, you did good. Like, so in the Texas one, you did like number one. You only dropped 3 points the whole damn match, didn't you?
Yeah, I win stuff. I just don't post a lot about it. I don't gotta shove trophies in people's faces.
MDT does. MDT did like 17 posts in the same day about it. Look at this. Look. Yeah.
Hey,
So
someone likes me, just not you.
That's good.
I'd share it if you tag me. Well, let me repeat that. Somebody does. I don't. Somebody tags it. Somebody reposts it. I don't do it. So let's hear it, Jose. You've been gone from LRT for a minute because of me. I suck at keeping everybody up to date. But you've also had a child. So life has changed. Everything. The big picture has kind of evolved into everything. How's life for you?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got a real life, right? Except for some people. But between the baby and I took a new job moving south, that I'm on the road a lot. I'm on the road for the next 7 weeks for work, and unfortunately, that work is not within the firearm industry. But I think it's just changed how I shoot, which is just I kind of just prioritize certain matches. So I shot 3 matches last month, but that was my 3rd through 5th match of the year, and then I won't shoot again until September, right? So it's just kind of changed how I shot, which a lot of that too is like we run that KRG Extreme ELR match the first weekend of May every year, so that takes a lot of time. But that was really cool this year. We sold out 160 spots in like an hour, and then 4 straight days of shooting. So we actually did a RO and VIP day on Thursday. So the picture's just different. I guess when this kind of all started, and Solinsky, I think when this all started, obviously was really, really into 22s. Not that he's not still, but obviously him and I both being idiotic enough to try Mammoth one time really turned us on to this whole like fine ranging gauge, teamwork, kind of different thing than like, than PRS or NRL 22. But that's honestly what I enjoy as well. Like what my year will likely wrap up with is the Coleman's team sniper match that actually Solinsky and I have even shot together one time. So just kind of like, I guess what I enjoy shooting changes, but like I was at the Carbon Hill Hunter match last weekend and had a dude, like I was walking down because they make you walk like a mile and a half to the firing point because it's the only way to keep it blind because the normal parking lot is right where all the stages are. So we're walking back, it's like 173 degrees outside and I'm dying. And this dude's just like, hey man, I've seen you before. And I'm like, no, you haven't. I'm just like trying to like push through. And he's like, no, man, like y'all's channel, it's awesome. It's like I used it when I was getting in, right? And you just kind of like, I don't know, you run into that about every other match. Like somebody there is like, oh yeah, I spent 6 hours on YouTube and Craven Crocker stuff. So, all this stuff that we do is obviously time consuming and takes away from your own trigger time, but like it tends to help somebody.
Yeah, Matt came to me at a SHOT Show or after. He goes, dude, there's actually a lot of people that listen to this shit. And I'm like, what? You were that boring?
I thought I was talking out into air, Just Cole and I having a bullshit session every time.
Thought this was your personal diary.
I'm like, all right, cool. I'll talk.
He only says half the shit he does because he's like, nobody's ever gonna see this.
Like, I was like, oh damn, I actually gotta watch what I say. Shit.
Yeah. But no, like Matt's come to me and goes, dude, there's a lot of people that came to me at SHOT Show in these matches and they watch it. And I'm like, dude, that's awesome. And I think that's kind of the culmination of episode 100 is it's taken freaking forever to get here because I suck. But it's amazing. Like when I started in 2011, the evolution of everybody that started with me, where everybody's kind of gone. You see so many people just kind of peel off after a while of, hey, I've got my fulfillment. I'm off. I've got family. I've got other stuff I want to do. And it kind of comes. But the fun thing is like we're all still kind of here and we all still enjoy it. We still like talking about it. So, and that's one of the cool things of everything. Now, Solinsky, you had a kid and you've been traveling a lot. You're a jerk and your wife's an airline. Yeah. I hope you get a kidney stone because you get to travel that much. But I mean, we see pictures from like Amon Jordan and stuff. And I'm like, dude, I want to go to Petra. I'm like, that is so cool. But you've kind of been living your own life, doing your own thing and getting like trailers and Tammy, the neighbor comes over, white trash shit and that kind of stuff. But
I don't know.
I mean,
I
my
don't
life's
know. I
cooler
don't
than
know if they're,
yours,
like,
and
commending
everybody
him.
knows it. It's all right.
Yeah.
Cole, are you complimenting him or just like painting a negative picture right now? I'm not really
This took
sure.
a weird turn.
Yeah.
No, like
I was
Yours,
plainly jealous, but
trailer.
he's trying to insult me at the same time.
I'm somewhat jealous because, like, if I get sick of this shit, I just put my tires on my shit and I drive it and I move it.
So you're calling him like a gypsy, like, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Well, unfortunately, there's no trailers left on this, or tires left on this trailer.
I believe where Cole was going with that, Solinsky, is what does your evolution look like over the last 3 years?
Yeah, we've been doing.
So essentially, like Jose said,
Hold on. I bet no one's shooting voodoos anymore. Oh, that just happened.
Ooh. I mean, I still am, but
I've got 6 of them, so
yeah. Dude, you're
you
sitting
want me to
on,
go show you the voodoo centerfire rifle?
you're sitting on some money. That is
hey,
Yeah,
hey,
that's gold
Jose,
right
that is
now.
mine. We have an agreement.
that is bank. Dude, you
I'm
can't
selling
shoot
it. I said I'm showing it to somebody.
That's a relic. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean.
So-
Sorry. So go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, you're good. So yeah, I started off with those of you that know me. I started off pretty heavily in the rimfire stuff back before the PRS or NRL got into it. I was shooting the Lapua Rimfire series out in West Virginia, and then just kind of grew with the sport from there and exploded it kind of into my own business. I ran several, and I still do on occasion, just less frequent occasions. Run long range rimfire clinics, but then Jose, the jerk, convinced me to shoot mammoth a couple of years ago, and then that got me down a whole different rabbit hole, partially due to the format of matches. I love that. Partially due to realizing the capabilities of hot rod 223s and the butt hurt that it causes people. It's amazing. I love showing up to matches with a super hot 223 that's essentially a 6 mil, but it checks that 223 box. Fantastic. Makes me happy. So shoot that a lot of these sniper matches. I know the first one we ran at Mammoth. Jose, you were running your 6 GT, right? Yeah. So Jose's running a 6 GT. I'm running a 223, running 80 Rainers at like, I think I was running like 30-50 or 30-20 or something. And we were even for ballistics out to like 850. It was absolutely dumb.
I have a 223 AI that shoots 88s at like 29-20, and that thing is so much fun.
It's disgusting.
I hate to tell you, the not to get us off course of Solinsky's history, but I think around all the other crazy 22s are about to go away. I don't know if y'all have seen the Black Arc stuff, the NOS 3 casings. But,
oh yeah, I have.
That 20, you can't reload them, but at 24 cents per piece, and you just leave it laying on the ground. We're talking like picking up another 200 to 250 feet per second with the same projectile.
Once I see that load start shooting well, I'll believe it. But
I have personally shot a match with a teammate that was running the fast stuff. And we're talking like I watched multiple 0.6 groups with like 73s at 30-50 out of a 16-inch gun.
All
like,
right.
yeah,
I've seen
insanity.
Run at my gas gun matches, and I have yet to see a rifle
No,
shoot.
I'm convinced. And they just announced the 6.5 stuff too. Like, you can just take your 6.5 Creed, let your kid shoot 120 super lightly loaded, and then throw 156s in that stuff once they actually start selling it. And you'll be shooting 156s at 6.5 PRC speed out of the same gun. The 6.5 Creed and the 223 will be the most versatile rounds you'll have out there because of that stuff. So, yes. Solinsky, Hot Roger 223s, baby. Hot rod them all day.
Yeah.
So.
Are you putting super long throats in them?
One of my guns is throated for Alpha 5.3, which is a 77 grain for those of you that don't know. And then one of them is throated for the 80.5 burrs. But it runs 77s like a demon as well. So it depends on the load. I've had a couple of 80.5 loads that are absolute money. I had an 85.5 load that actually shot pretty well out of that gun as well. But it didn't shoot as well as the 80.5s. So it does require to throw it a bit longer. It does require a fast twist rate. I think mine's 1 in 7.5. Generally, it needs to be faster than 1 in 8. 1 in 8's the slowest it can be. But I mean, you can do some disgusting shit with those new burgers. The 80.5, the 85.5s are fantastic. The tipped Sierra Match King 77s are fantastic. You just got to find the right powder that works with your load and your gun. But all these guys are doing all this crazy shit with hot rod calibers and wildcats and literally the 223, just load it different, will be a 90% solution to an entirely new gun build.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I know at Straight Jacket, we did a bunch of design changes on our 223 reamer. We actually took the wild and changed a lot of the stuff on the reamer itself for like lead cleaning, a lot of different things. And that's the one that's on 37 right now. If anybody knows what range 37 is, that's the one that's on Sawyer's gun that's shooting in the .2s with factory ammo. We've made a lot of changes in that. So the 223 round's not dead. And as long as you get a fast twist and you push it, it's a fun little cartridge. I mean, it'll humble you a little bit with wind, but as long as you can figure out when. But you come out here in Utah and stuff, and you get switchy winds, and it's going to push that little bullet all over the place.
Yeah, wind and misses are your biggest downside with 223, just because the grain weight's so small. If you shoot it into the dirt, the visual indicators are so much less than like a 6.5 or even a heavy 6 mil. And that's going to be your biggest disadvantage. And then wind, obviously. But the other advantage is there's so many good factory options for 223. Like if you wanted a gun that you could hot rod and run open for PRS, and then also go to the range, 2 days later and just shoot factory ammo to practice with, because you don't want to spend 6 hours reloading to practice, like 223 is your option.
Well, one issue that I've always seen with 223, this happened in our match, it's happened in a lot of matches, is if you don't have a solid RO that knows how to call, they are having a super hard time watching plate movement, especially if you hit once. There was a lot of times where they'd hit and they'd hit again, and the plate wouldn't move enough that anybody could call it. So 223 is kind of hard, and I think that's why a lot of people stay in the 6 range, because it's still got super high BC, but it still moves the plate. You can still see that. But I mean, you get out past 1,000, it's still hard to see. Even at the 6 millimeter, it's hard to see that freaking plate move unless you've got, some sort of a flasher or something on it.
Yeah, I would say sub 800, that really just comes down to their load. So tactical games last year, I was running some 80.5s, running fast. And it was moving the plate more than Brandon's 6.5, to the point they questioned who was the secondary and who was the primary. But that was sub 600 yards. Past 600, his obviously had a lot more kinetic energy than mine did. But again, that was running 80.5s fast as fuck.
Matt, hey, what about those target indicator systems that we talked about at one time? Whatever happened to those?
The Echoes. So I know the designer of them is selling them. I'm not sure that MBT is selling them. I don't know. It's kind of in a weird. So I've got a couple sets of them. I've used them, and it's a kind of a I can't remember, radio transmission set. So there's a sensor on the target, and then it transmits to a hub, and it lights and makes sounds and stuff. So I use them in my matches and stuff. I figured them out pretty well. But Blackbriar's the name of the company, and Kevin's selling them through his company. So they do exist.
That's the thing. Like the ones that Ryan Hay,
Magneto
Speed.
The Magneto Speed sensors were phenomenal. But the problem is, once you screwed one up, which you'd screw one up almost every match, if not 2 or 3, they were expensive as hell to replace. And it's like, dude, that made it so nice for ROs to catch that crap, is to see that hit.
They got super expensive. They're
well,
so
bucks. They were $200 when they released them, even the Gen 1s. But the new Caldwells, so like Caldwell released whatever they call theirs, the now I'm blanking on the name, but whatever they called it, they released the
Yeah.
Gen 2 this year.
The gray
And
ones. Yep.
for the KRG match, we actually ran like 50 of the Gen 2s. And so I think, what are they, like $30 if you buy one, and if you buy a match pack, it's like
Yep.
cheaper per. And so obviously, I mean, we got 50 of them, so we got a pretty good deal. And we put 4 of them on our 4x8 plate at 3,000. And at the firing line midday in Wyoming, we could see the 3,000-yard flash with by naked eye, right? And but the cool thing they did is the Gen 1, because you remember if the magneto speed, you could actually change the setting of the flasher and stuff, but like you had to Bluetooth through it and it wasn't super intuitive. There's just a switch now, and there's a 10-second flash and a 3-second flash setting. So you can go to that 3-second flash if the target's got to be like, again, if it's NRL hunter or anything that requires like follow-up shots for a follow-up hit, because we take 2 shots at every target. With that 10-second flash, you had dudes literally say they like quit flashing so I can pull the trigger again. And that Gen 2 with that 3-second flash is like you shoot, it hits, it flashes, and by the time you pull the trigger, like it's quit flashing. But it's super clear. And we had Brett, admittedly, the main match director, came up with a pretty cool bracket made out of AR-550 that holds them in place, because people, like the Magneto, the Velcro wouldn't work, or it could get knocked off or whatever. I think we lost 1 flasher the whole match with dudes
Those
shooting
are good.
4.16s. Like a lot of that was his bracket, but they work great. Like no crap, like by naked eye at 3,000 yards, it was awesome. So yeah, those Caldwells are. There's just not an excuse to not use them past 600 yards anymore. They're too affordable.
I did a video with them at SHOT Show and talked about it, because they had a whole shitload of them around a target and we hit it.
It outlined the target, right? Yeah.
You went blind watching it.
Yeah.
And I think we had like 60 or 70,000 views, because like everybody's like, man, that makes it super easy to view that, and it kind of adds a depth to just shooting still. You get the ring, but you also get the visual part of hitting it, especially once you get out there far enough. And for hunters and stuff, like, we're always like, hey, where did we hit on the target? But are you sure you hit on the target twice, because you sent 2 almost at the same time type thing? And that was one of the big things that kind of set some of those apart, was the follow-up shots, because guys were figuring out their wind really fast, and they were hurrying, sending up a second shot as fast as they could run that bolt. Oh, I got my wind figured out, so I'm going to run it. And that was one of the things, is a couple of the others the lights couldn't catch up to the way that it was reacting.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing too with the lights, I think the lights are great, but it's really good for a new RO. But sometimes they forget they also need to look at where the round is impacting, because we would run into it where an experienced RO, the light wouldn't go off, right? Light breaks, whatever, it's not sensitive enough, and they're still calling hits. I've been at matches with junior ROs that have indicators on their targets, and they're like, no, that was a miss. The light didn't go off. And like your whole squad that is your active competitors at the match are like, nah, that was a hit. Like, we all watched it.
Yeah.
It's a tool, right? It's a tool. It shouldn't be a crutch. But, at the end of the day, without junior ROs, a lot of times without some amount of junior ROs, you're not going to have enough ROs for a match. And the bigger thing is, honestly, I mean, those junior ROs a lot of times have loaner glass, but most match directors can't afford 18 sets of ROs, right? So you give a junior RO a 10X pair of Vortex Vipers and like, hey, watch this target in the Utah Mirage, like, you kind of get what you get. So.
No, you're not wrong.
Little shit going back and forth. What is that? Oh, that's called. Oh no! Well, there's your sign.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Hornback? You had some comments.
So I switched to primarily using those Caldwell ones, because one, they're cheap if a bullet finds them, and the cool design on that too is even if you hit a couple of the LED lights, they still work. They're individual lights, so they still, and they're, even if like 1 or 2 lights is lit up, like it's still really bright. But the one thing I tell at my matches, ROs, shooters, whatever, is the flashes are secondary, splash is primary. So as long as you let that be known as match director, like, hey, this is a supplement, then you don't have that issue. So we have run into the problem with ROs, like just simply spotting the flasher. And you're right. And I've gotten, I'm not gonna say arguments, but debates, like, no, man, like I've seen tens of thousands of bullets go down range, especially prone, and I know when I hit and I know when I miss, and that one went right where I wanted it to. So yeah, there's that back and forth too, man. But I've been on the losing end of that too, where match goes like, well, they say they didn't hit, it didn't hit. It's like, okay, fine, moving on.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's a hard one. A lot of ROs. I mean, we could have another podcast on ROs getting beat up because there was a few on a couple of my matches where the ROs just got brutally beat to hell. And, maybe it was stage design. Well, there was one of them that was stage design. And there was another one that there was a couple of the bigger name shooters that just had, they had to prove that they were going to win. And they beat the crap out of the freaking ROs. And guess what? I know one of them now because it's anyway, long story, but he doesn't shoot anymore. Has never shot again because it completely ruined how he addressed that thing because of the way that one of these big name shooters came after him. And I'm like, man, that happens so freaking much. There's so much of that crap that goes on. That same thing in hunting and everything else, though, is we keep seeing these hunting ambassadors or influencers or whatever. There's a lot of shit coming out about a lot of them now all of a sudden that they were cheating or they were doing something. And I think more and more of that's come out. But I don't know. But that can be a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a perfect solution for it either, right? Because
There's not.
you've got, like Jose said, you've got to have junior ROs. They got to learn somewhere. Without their support, half these matches don't exist. At the same time, we all know for a fact we've lost points at matches that we were competitive at because a junior RO couldn't see what they should have been able to see, or we lost a call that because the RO got the benefit of the doubt over the shooter, whatever. But then there are professional shooters who take advantage of that, right? 100%. And if an RO is established as like, oh, they may not be as experienced. Oh, I never missed. Well, that RO has no idea what they're talking about. I don't miss. Whatever. I'm capable of perfect matches every fucking second, right? And we've all seen that shit too. And I honestly don't think the perfect solution comes from the ROs. That comes from us as the fellow competitors on calling those motherfuckers out.
Yes.
That's the only way they respond to that.
At the end of the day, it's still a game, and I think we're hitting a point where yes, some people are creating somewhat of a livelihood out of it, but like the actual match day, like we're all a bunch of red-blooded, over-competitive dudes who are taking it seriously. But at the end of the day, like
people forget to have fun.
Spend time away from your family. Like you don't have to be a jerk about it.
Man, I'm convinced. To Selinsky's point there. I'm convinced that there's some people that do this that don't actually have fun. Like they're disconnected from that whole thing. And that's the part that drives me nuts.
Yeah. The day I don't have fun at matches, I'm quitting shooting. But that'll never happen because I enjoy fucking shooting everything. I shoot literally most discipline, except shotgun. Shotgun's dumb.
Don't ever go chucker hunting then. Don't do it.
I'm gonna have to do shotgun like a lot in the next month, and I'm dreading it because I hate skeet and trap shooting.
But I've gone down this path before. I'm like, a lot of these guys, there's 1 or 2 or 3 points between top 3. It's getting very, very from 2011, from when I started shooting to now. Like you look at points, that it's tight. It is super tight. But at the same time, it's like I've always preached this. At the end of the day, what the hell do you win? Do you get a scope and a little thing to hang in your office that no one else ever sees again besides you? Like, still treat people with respect. It's like maybe they screwed up, maybe they didn't. Yes, you missed one by 1 point, but at the end of the day, you're not winning $50,000. That might be a little bit different. But where you're winning, the difference between first and second place, like you can pick up a rifle versus an optic. Half of them go on freaking sniper's hide anyway. But you know what I mean? It's like we've become too far separated from, hey, how do each other's worth the shit type thing.
The consistency thing has really gotten impressive. So the NRL Hunter match I was just at, I shot in teams, right? And like teams obviously originally started as like, hey, if you got a buddy you're wanting to get into this and they're scared to do it alone, like, it's almost like teams was intended to be treated as like a pro-am division of NRL Hunter or whatever. And what it's turned into is like, two dudes that are great shooters and their buddies are like, hey, let's go see if we can like go skull drag people, right? So we shot in teams, and the teams looked stacked, and they were. And on day one, my partner, who I'm not going to call out for sake of how badly I dragged him down, he shot incredible, like probably well over 85%. And I had about 4 stages of trying to figure some stuff out that did not go good at all. Shot pretty well the rest of the day. On day 2, I missed 1 shot all day. 8 stages, I missed 1 shot. He missed 2 shots. And we didn't even podium because of how consistent the rest of the field is getting.
Yep.
Like, it's insane. Like, you know what I mean? Like 2015, you can be like, oh, you get a 2 on a stage and still win a match if you're a good shooter. Yeah. And now it's like, I dropped 1 shot all day on Sunday and did not even get a trophy. The shooting field has elevated it. What is it they say? Rising tides lifts all boats or whatever. Like, it's insanity how good just the class is getting.
and dude, that's all disciplines of long range right now. I mean, rimfire is the exact same way.
Yeah,
Fucking 5 years ago,
yeah,
you could bomb a stage and still win the match if you were consistent.
You can laugh.
Now, you just shoot a mediocre stage, not even bomb it, just like average one stage. You're not in the top 5.
Yeah. Matt, do you even shoot? Do you even shoot anymore?
Man, I think I do. I mean, all that.
I mean, a pile of stuff back there looks cool.
I mean, my reloading room's over here. It's a whole room in our house in Vegas because I'm not going to reload in the garage right now. It's insane. And the like couple thousand pieces of brass that I ran the last couple days, I mean, I hope I'm going to shoot it.
So speaking of having fun,
to Trevor's comment, skips count. They count every time. It's still a hit on the target.
A hit's a hit. That's the end of it. We got it with a 45-70 on the stage that I put a long time ago, and they would skip the 45-70 rounds into the target. But it's funny as hell watching PRS shooters flinch after they've shot a 45-70. It's pretty hilarious. Yeah, I think Matt was there, weren't you, Matt?
Yeah, I'm recoil intolerant. You don't laugh at me like that.
Yeah. All right. What were you saying, Slinsky?
I was going to say, so speaking of fun matches, this is less long range related, but just shooting competition related. If you guys want a super fun fucking match, I plug this match as much as I can, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the NRA. The NRA World Shooting Competition. Cole knows which one it is. World Shooting Championship. I'm a huge fan of that match because it's just fun.
It's a lot of disciplines. It is a lot of disciplines.
So it's a 12-stage match shot over 3 days, but each stage is a different discipline of shooting. So they mix up some of them every year, but generally you'll have 2 shotgun stages, trap skeet, international, or 5-stand. You'll have PRS, you'll have rimfire, like long-range rimfire. You'll have bullseye rifle, bullseye pistol, 2-gun, USPSA, 3-gun maybe, depending on the year, cowboy action, biathlon, insert whatever else, right? You'll end up shooting one of everything. The reason why it's the most fun match, they provide all the guns and ammo. You show up with your ear pro and your water, and you're just like, I don't know what to do with my hands because you don't have any of your shit.
Yeah.
And it's a completely even playing field. Some people take it too seriously, and they're hilarious because you just sit there and make fun of them. But it is the most fun match to like get all your buddies to go sign up for and then squad together and then just have a fucking blast of a time shooting other people's guns and other people's ammo and just doing all of it.
Until they're crappy guns. We saw that.
Oh, yeah. It's all whatever companies are willing to donate 7 of. Like, you're not getting.
I can't imagine a company that would provide stage pistols that don't work from the moment you pull them out of the box.
Hey, it wasn't
experienced that. Never. It's for score too.
No.
So speaking of high-end companies, the first year that I think was that the first year you were there, Cole?
Mm-hmm.
So the first year Cole was there was with Devil Dog Arms, and they were there on a side stage, and Kimber had donated for the precision pistol paid stage. And there was so much shit talking on the garbage Kimbers that showed up that they have not been invited back.
Yeah. And then the next year I went to Bullseye freaking
Yeah.
Devil Dog went to bullseye, and I was like, I don't know what to do. John Shoe shows up, and I'm like, here, you show them what to do because I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'll provide the guns. And if anybody knows who John Shoe is, it's pretty legit, and he did very well.
Yeah, that dude is the bullseye pistol wizard of like ever.
Dude's freaking nuts. Dude's nuts.
So that competition's at Camp Atterbury. I'll actually be there like 2 weeks prior to this.
You should sign up and just stay.
When
The guard is not gonna just let me stay. That's not gonna happen.
It's supported by the guard.
I bet. So I'm actually going there to do a range master course for the guard. So I'm gonna inquire about this while I'm there.
Bro, you should request to RO it because the ROs have their own match, which has its own prize table.
So
that's cool.
Well, the first year that I did go to the Worlds was with Voodoo. That was the first year that I met you guys at the Marine Corps shooting team. And the next 2 years was because of all the dipshit. Yeah. Anyway, long story, but was with Devil Dog, and that's when I went back. And then I had an employee that disappeared with a couple Marines, and yeah, that was interesting.
What?
Nothing.
So
anyway, so Atterbury, yeah, because it was in Glen Eyrie, West Virginia, and that's the Worlds was the 3 times that I went. And the problem is I didn't realize it, but the 3 times that I went fell on my wife's birthday, and the very last one was her birthday. I missed it, and that was bad. It was super bad.
Like you didn't realize it all 3 times?
No, well, Jose, I don't hate you negative. I don't even know when my own birthday is. Okay, like it's hard.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. Hornback's going to a freaking. That ought to be interesting. You'll have to record that and let us know what it takes to be a professional RO or whatever you're doing.
So my new position is going to be Lands and Ranges OIC, and then Marks J coordinator, ammunition manager, yada yada yada. So I actually got a fun gig for the next 2 years. I can be a dirty range dude, and no one's going to give me shit. So
as long as you're not a butter bar, you're all right.
No, I get paid too much for that. I'm gonna be overpaid for sure.
Interesting. All right.
Less people think this is a competition podcast. Who's got fun tags?
Well, we won't get into the Utah tags, will we, Jose? That was
struck out.
I still paid.
Nevada.
I still paid.
Yeah. Hopefully, get back. I didn't realize they were that much. After I heard that, I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah,
but
I'm going to Colorado this year, so I gotta whip the PRC and the MDT back out. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, I didn't draw anything, so I'm gonna have to go somewhere else. I shot a gator and I shot a bunch of hogs this year, and that's it. Unless I go buy something somewhere else. I might try and get an antelope here that I can buy on a CWMU, but I don't know what else I don't know what else I do. I mean, I shot a 90-inch antelope here a couple of years ago, and I'm like, well, I can't top that, so I'll just shoot it. I'll let my kid.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah, you could try.
Cole, why have you not reached out to our buddies at Trigger Cam? It would be cheaper for half the shit you do. It would be cheaper for you to fly to South Africa, and you will have 10 times more fun.
I've got a good friend of mine, Neil Becker. He keeps messaging me. He's like, dude, all you got to do is show up. You pay the fees for the week, and you can shoot all you want. And then I look at plane tickets because, of course, my wife and all my kids are like, nope, we're going. You're not going by yourself. And it's, $3,000 a piece. And I'm like, no, I'm not worth it. I'm going to have to sell some shit. Like kidneys. Yeah. Nobody wants my kidneys, guaranteed. So I got to find some more stuff.
Just don't offer a warranty. It'll be fine.
Yeah, but like, dude, I'd love to go hunt over there. I mean,
dude, that baboon hunt was one of the funnest hunts I've ever done.
The which one?
Not that I've done a whole lot. I hunted baboons while I was down
you
there.
flew over there on your wife's freaking pass. If I had your wife's pass, I'd fly over all the time. It's $2 to $3 grand a piece.
Okay, it wasn't free. It was like
I've watched that pass
$97.
by Zelensky before. That pass isn't necessarily all it's cracked up to be.
Whatever. Jose, why do you gotta take this side? Like
I'm not. I'm making fun of him for being so cheap that it takes him 3 days to get home 2 states away.
Greyhound's
Yes,
expensive.
that
now.
happened.
How did you fly from Georgia to Seattle to Virginia? Well, you see what happened was.
Spirit had a sale.
I still remember when he wrecked his car. We got to the match and limped in to try and shoot.
And went home with a $40 prize that he had to pay shipping on.
That hurts. That hurts.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
All right. Well, I appreciate you boys. It's late over there on the East Coast. It's only 8 o'clock here. It's what, 10 years time?
Yeah.
It's like 2 hours past freaking Jose's bedtime with the. Well, Zelensky, you're probably. I don't know. Zelensky, I can see him out there in that trailer just in his underwear walking around in circles.
Yep.
But Jose, I can
Dale
see.
Gribble. Dale Gribble.
Yeah, exactly. I can see Jose going to bed early because he's got to keep up with shit. But John, like, I can see Zelensky just wandering around aimlessly in that trailer looking at walls. Like, anybody watching just looks at him and they're like, 100%.
Glock 43 fits perfectly in that front pouch of his whitey tighties. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Upside down so he feels better. So the freaking
So I feel like a real boy.
muzzle awareness.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, hey, I appreciate you guys joining me. Episode 100 was a blast. I want to finish off by thanking our other sponsors, Born Primitive. Bunch of solid freaking dudes. If anybody knows who they are, LRT15 is your checkout code. If you ever want anything Born Primitive, if you've used their stuff, it's amazing because most of them are, active duty tier 1 guys that have gone and they figured out that they want to build better stuff, and they have built better stuff, solid stuff. I know Matt's used a lot of it. I love it. Absolutely love a lot of their stuff. Hold up displays. They sent us some good stuff. I still have to set up all my system. I just, with all the time I got, I haven't done it, but I appreciate them. Utah Air Guns, with everything they do for, and if anybody hasn't seen this, I think they gave away $100,000 last weekend at the Utah Air Guns thing. There were guys from all over the world seeing that. So it was crazy. But it's been crazy. 100 episodes. Here's to 100 more. I appreciate you guys, from starting off to now and everything else. But it's been kind of a ride, and we've really got to kind of, I guess, buckle down and educate some more people, because it's amazing how many people come to me and they're like, man, we really like the no BS stuff. Like, you guys aren't full of shit. Like, you tell us how it is, and that's what we like. There's just because you have sponsors, you're not going to fluff anything type stuff. And I think that's kind of what always set Long Range Tactics apart and why I created it when I created it. But I appreciate you guys for joining, and hopefully we can have some more of these conversations here in the next little bit with life as busy as it is and everything else. But I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man.
Yep. Here goes Zelensky wandering around in his freaking trailer again, guaranteed. I wish we had. I wish we had a.
You're jealous.
Matt started probably
jealous.
drinking at noon while he was at work, and he's drinking water now.
That's frowned upon now.
Yeah. You could tell he's drinking while he's pounding water.
Your generation ruined that for me. Thank you.
Hey, listen, like, we'd go out to eat at certain establishments and then go fly in the afternoon and try to land Blackhawks, and it didn't work very well. But
sick, yeah. Thanks.
And you wonder why we all hate you.
Yeah.
Hey, you chose what you did. That's all there is to it. Yes, Mary.
I signed my contracts. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, that was your own fault. You joined the Marine Corps. Hoorah.
Yeah, well, everything I chose got disbanded, so.
Well, that is true. That there's no more hogs, there's no piglets, there's none of that stuff, which is sad.
It's worse than that. The unit I joined, gone. Snipers gone. The old rifle team gone. Literally everything I touched in the Marine Corps is fucking gone.
It was you.
You know what they say if you meet a bunch of jerks all day, right?
Oh, hell. I'm starting to snort. All right, it's time to go. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Episode 100 was a blast. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think. See ya.